Hi, everyone. Welcome to Amazing African Spotlight, where we bring you the most inspiring and game-changing stories of African entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers. I am Temidayo Christy Efumi, and I'm your host on this storytelling series. Now, imagine being recognized for your work, not just locally, but also by global houses like the UN, the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and it doesn't even end there. I mean, Pan-African bodies like Future Perspectives, AfriLabs, and the African Development Bank are ready to collaborate with you in deploying ecosystem building initiatives. From designing programs to implementing impactful projects in the education, digital economy, and entrepreneurship spaces, our guest today has happily gotten her hands dirty. That's why I'm excited to introduce her to you. I want you all to meet Taiwo Joseph, the amazing visionary behind initiatives that have, among other things, deployed digital literacy and workforce readiness initiatives across 10 Nigerian states through Project 10,000 Youths in Tech program. Taiwo Joseph is the co-founder and CEO of Erilearn, an innovative EdTech initiative, equipping young Africans with industry-relevant skills to thrive in the digital economy. Now, today in this interview, we are going deep and we will uncover the exact moment Taiwo knew she had to take action, the challenges she overcame, and the game-changing lessons you can apply on your own journey. And trust me, you won't want to miss the surprising twist in our story. So if you love hearing real stories of Africans making a difference, hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. And let us know in the comments, what's your dream career or business idea? We might just feature a guest to help you on your journey. And stick around to the end. Taiwo will also be revealing a number one secret for success, and it's something you probably haven't heard before. All right, then. So let's jump in. Hi, Taiwo. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
So good to have you here. I'm excited. Okay, so let's start. Let's just run through our regular questions, and if anything comes up in the middle, we are going to deviate. But as much as possible, we want to learn so many tips and tricks for being an entrepreneur in Africa from you today. So the first question: who are you in one sentence?
Um, hmm, that's a very big question. I think in the last, well, by the way, thank you so much for that introduction. I think for a second, I'm like, "Okay, is that really me?" Because that was, I mean, it just made me reflect on how much someone can do, and then you're like, okay, have I really done enough already? Have I done so much like that? In the works, you're not really conscious of the impact, right? It's when you're doing like, oh God, what I just did has just impacted a lot of people, and it just brings me to a point of humility, like how much of impact and progress that I've been able to achieve in the last few years. So thank you so much for introducing me in such an amazing way.
You're definitely welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, who am I in the simple sentence? I'm Taiwo Joseph. Yeah, no doubt. And I'm a young lady on the mission of solving the crisis of undereducation and unemployment crisis in Africa. This is like a very huge problem. And of course, there have been many initiatives that have been created to solve this issue, and it doesn't seem to be resolved. So one person is not enough. I'm just that person who is, on the lookout for, partnerships, collaborations, opportunities, to ensure that we alleviate this crisis and young people are given the right opportunity that they deserve. Yes. Thank you so much.
Wow, I really love that. I really love that. But I'm going to comment on that much later. But let's go into one of the most interesting questions we usually ask our guests. If someone made a movie about your life, what would the title be?
I think the first one that came to mind is Against the Odds. Yeah, Against the Odds will be the
Against
first
the
time.
odds, okay.
Yeah, and the girl will rewind the future.
A
Yeah,
girl would
rewind.
what? Wow.
That
That's interesting.
will be a title.
Okay, so but what's one sentence that best describes your journey so far as as an entrepreneur in Africa?
Yeah, I think the first one would be grace, because
Mm,
everything that I've been able to achieve so far, it's not by the virtue of my works, because I mean there are more people who are more hardworking than I do. I just see how God's grace has just been sufficient all the way. Resilience, yeah, in the face
mm,
of impossibilities, in the face of adversity, when the odds are so strong. Like, are you sure you're gonna make it? Yeah, the fact that I stood and I still kept on going. Yeah, I think that one word would describe my journey so far.
wow, interesting. Now, can you take us back, a little bit? We want to know where you're coming from, where you started from, right? How it all began. What was your life before this journey started? What was it like for you?
Okay, so I'm thinking about it now. I think 2 weeks ago I did an Ignite talk, and one of the things that we're asked to do is to talk about our story. I mean, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, what you do mostly is go for pitch about your business and all of that. I've not really had really enough time to really think about my story, how it all started. But I think thinking about it now, right? One of the things that I say was my story and how it started was I see a young girl who did not have enough opportunities like every other young lady of her age. Yeah. I mean, I remember a day that I was sent back from school because I haven't paid my tuition, and guess how much the money was? It was an equivalent of just $1. I mean, $1 rather. Um, and I'm like, wow, like how is that even possible? Right? That's about 1,600 naira. Yeah, my parents couldn't afford to pay that. I was in a public
Wow.
school, yes. And I also remembered when I was in the university, I didn't even have a laptop of my own. I had to like borrow from my friends. And despite all of that, I'm still that young person that feel like, yeah, this is an opportunity that everybody should just, be a part of. I remember starting student entrepreneurship club in my school. Then I'm like, I think I have a lot of young people like myself who does not have access to enough resources. So if we can start doing businesses in school, it will help us pay our tuition, and then we could from it there become something bigger. I didn't even see myself in this light at that time. I just felt like, yeah, I mean, students should also have their own businesses. So I gathered students together. We started talking about entrepreneurship and how we can grow our businesses as students and all of that. So, but after university, I started thinking about, yeah, there are many young people like myself who does not have enough opportunities, growing up, enough resources. So how do we help them? Right. And of course, we all understand the stark reality of youth unemployment. What we are taught in the university eventually is not what the labor market requires, right? It's just like there is a huge gap. So okay,
Mm,
do I bridge that gap? And that was how I started thinking, and that was how my company started, Erilearn. So the story for me has been someone who sees a gap and just wanted to, fill in, who wanted to, who sees a problem and wants to solve it, find a solution. It doesn't even matter if it's something that I have the capacity to do or not. But once I see a problem, I want to solve it. So then I didn't even have the resources. I'm just one young girl who doesn't even have so much opportunities like every other person. But yet I want to look at how can I solve it? What can I do? And I think that single experience, that single character, yeah, has helped me to become more and more impactful because I keep going on, I keep finding solution, I keep looking out for opportunities that can help others and help them advance. Even
Wow, I think we lost you there for a bit. I hope you'll be back soon.
network glitch.
Yeah, starting now, we're back.
All right. Hope it didn't affect the previous recordings.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your story. It's interesting how you've already started this, this whole initiative around training entrepreneurs right from school. It's quite it's quite interesting, and now seeing that now you've turned it into a whole organization, and you've basically gone bigger with the initiative. But can you tell us what was the exact moment you knew you had to start Erilearn? I know you're a co-founder of Erilearn, so it could be, can you tell us the circumstances around you and other co-founders coming together, and just saying, okay, we have to just put this idea forward.
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. I think yeah, it was my second job. Um, when I was after I was done with university, year was on seven was my second job, and I started working as a business development manager. And I mean, of course, I love helping businesses, so it's not a surprise that I was working as a business development manager. So and then I started seeing the shift in the in the business in the entrepreneurship journey, right? There's a lot of things going on in terms of tech adoption of tech to every businesses. So I started seeing how things are changing. And okay, yeah. Of course, I didn't study business administration or anything related to business in the university. So it's just something that I have passion for. I went to go and do some trainings after I was on uni. So I'm like, yeah, how do I become relevant in the tech industry? So I started my journey into product management, and I saw how it was a struggle learning because so many other platforms that are available then they are either virtually and most of them are generic. So there are no local adoption in terms of the kind of businesses we do here in Africa, right? Most of the businesses you see are things that mostly I might not be able to relate to it. I saw the gap of internship. So while I was done with the training, it took me a lot of time, almost a year to get an internship placement. So I was just doing projects. I was going online finding different projects just to have a portfolio. And then I was able to get an internship through a referral from a friend, and then I started working as a product manager. Because of my business development background, it was very easy for me to like um, start thriving as a product manager. So all this experience summed up how I started Erilearn. I'm like, okay, it's kind of not so easy for most young people that want to transition to tech, especially when they're looking for um, a local experience in terms of, yeah, I'm just done with the training. How can I use a use case of a company in Africa, because that's what we are familiar with, right? We could learn about other global startups and all, but we need to start tailoring it, localizing the content to our realities here in Nigeria or realities here in Africa. So um, that prompted me to start in the academy. And then I started with just product management, which is like my own knowledge area. So I started with product management. We were just five students who were enrolled at that time, and I think we made it very affordable. Yeah, and then I started. So the five students that are enrolled, we took them on a 3 month journey for the training, and then we had internship placement. And after the 6 months of experience, I'm like, oh my god! One of them got a job almost immediately, and I was really excited. I'm like, wow, this is very fast. Because unlike me, it took me like some more than a year actually to even get an internship. So I'm like, okay, this is looking really good. and then I started moving it forward. So after the experience, I spoke with my employer at that time. Yeah, I have an idea. Um, we have a partner at that time. We started with a partner, developer institute in Tel Aviv. Like, yeah, we could actually do this with this institution. And then I spoke with her. She was like, yeah, this is a good idea. I resigned from my job. And then I'm like, I want to take this on. This is really interesting to me. I feel like this is solving the problem we are having in Nigeria and, of course, across Africa. And that was how the journey started. We started with five. Currently, we're on a 10,000 youth and women empowerment project across 10 states in Nigeria. And aside from that, we are also moving across Africa. So it's just really amazing. And we're just like 2 year old at the moment. And I'm seeing so much growth and so much progress happening with the initiative. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more, more progress. Looking forward to more growth as we advance in what we're doing.
Wow, amazing. So amazing. Okay, but if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, maybe that young girl that was in the university, whose parents could not afford to pay. Okay, I think that was maybe in secondary school or something, whose parents could not afford to pay some fees, or that young girl in the university who started the entrepreneurship program for other students. If you could give, any of those young girls an advice, what would it be?
Okay, so I think this is a very very deep one. But what I would tell my younger self would be, don't wait for anyone's permission. Yeah,
Hmm.
start with what you have. Start where you are, and the world will catch on with you. Don't wait for anyone's permission. Just start with what you have. Think
Wow.
something I would tell my younger self, and it's something I will keep reminding myself as I keep going on. Because we keep facing challenges, telling us we are not enough. You can't do it yet. Oh, it does not happen yet, right? It is not enough yet. But every time we allow those challenges define who we are or define our realities, we stop ourselves from becoming our real self. And that's something that I realized that every time I think about my story, if I'd allowed you're not enough, allowed this is not enough yet. I mean, why are you starting now? Right? If I allow those comments to become my reality, I might just be someone maybe in one company now, working and struggling to survive, or doing what I do not.
Hmm. Yeah, you're frozen at the moment. I think that's a bit of an internet glitch. All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, so a summary will be, don't wait for permission. Start with what you have, where you are, and the world will catch up with you sooner or later.
Hmm. Interesting. Start with what you have. Start where you are. I think I heard that somewhere today, and it's so true. Okay. What's a struggle from your early days that people don't usually know about?
Hmm. Okay, so I think the first thing, people often think that I'm an extrovert, that yeah, Taiwo is not shy, she speaks with everyone. I mean, she's got it, she's just got it, girl. Yeah, I get that a lot. She's very outspoken, but I'm not. I didn't start out that way. I was a very
Hmm.
shy. I had low self-esteem. I feel like uh, I'm not sure I can do this yet. So, but I just learned that you you won't become everything that you want to be if you keep allowing your present circumstances determine your reality. You won't be everything that you want to be. If looking through my story and some of the hardship that I've been through, it didn't look like I had enough opportunities around me or enough resources around me, right? But then I always put myself, despite the fact that I'm not the outspoken person, but I just put myself in a situation where I'm like, yeah, there's nothing you can do about this. You just have to speak. Because if you don't speak, nobody knows what you're thinking. If you don't take a step, nobody knows the potential of who you could become. Nobody can tell your story than you do. So every time I find myself in that environment, I just remind myself, yeah, your circumstances doesn't define your reality. You are someone that is more than this. So just take a step. And every time I remind myself of doing that, I just eventually see myself doing things that I I felt I couldn't do, right? And another struggle that I oftentimes go through is, I think for every entrepreneur, is raising funding. This is something very
Mm.
difficult sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling my staff, don't worry, we've got this. Everything is going on fine, and I'm in the room telling myself, okay, we've not gotten this. How are we gonna do this year? And then the confidence of, yeah, we are going to get this done. So I step out with that assurance and start looking out for opportunities, for people we collaborate with to earn more money, get more revenue, sponsorship, funding. And I think one of the things that also helped me get into the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I think the first time I saw it, I felt like, yeah, I don't know, we've done so much in already, we've not done enough yet. Let's just skip that for now. And then when I realized, yeah, I think we've done enough to be able to apply for this. So I just went in and then I applied, of course with guidance and all. And then when I saw the outcome, like, okay, we actually got this. We just need to step out and tell the world what
Mm.
we've done. So yeah, I think those are some of the challenges. Not enough. Yeah, we're not enough yet. We are not done enough yet. Or yeah, let's just take a chill pill. We get this covered. Let's just chill. So I think sometimes we limit ourselves based on our own measurements, right? So
Mm.
I think that sometimes can be a struggle for most entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of funding and raising funding, forming collaborations or securing strategic partnerships. I know that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs who are trying to get their businesses or ideas, especially impact-driven solutions, who are trying to get such off the ground, they face that and they don't even know how to navigate. Some do not have the right training, they do not know where to start from. Uh, I think my question, which is not part of what I know we had prepared to ask, but my question would be, how do you navigate? I know you have a background in business development, right? So, but how do you navigate that part, getting people to invest or securing grants or securing opportunities for your enterprise? That's Erilearn.
Okay, this is a very tricky question because I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, okay, was there a specific strategy that I used? I'm not sure there was one, but I think from experience, for entrepreneurs, I think first you have to be sure about the vision you have for your company. So it is that
Mm.
vision that will keep pushing you. So I've been in the US for about 4 weeks now, and here it seems, yeah, this is a very structured system. It's very structured, it's systematic. Um, Everything here works. That's just the word. So before you can approach anyone here, you have to be sure that you know what you're doing. You have to be sure that you know exactly what you want to achieve. Because Americans are like, Yeah, just go straight to the point. What do you want me to do for you? Right. So and to be able to see the opportunities around you, you have to be sure you know what you're trying to build, the vision, the goal. A friend told me this sometimes ago. So he said, your vision should be big enough to move you. Like even when it seems that like there are not enough opportunities, it should be big enough to move you to even create one where no opportunity exists. So
Mm.
the first collaboration we got had nothing to do with what we are doing at all. In fact, they could be like a competitor, right? But then I'm like,
Mm.
there should be something we could do together to help us move from point A to point B. And then I started thinking about it. So yeah, they have a license that we do not have at that time. So yeah, let's just leverage on a license. It will mean that we have to compromise a bit on pricing and on some other things. But then we have a license, and that can actually get us the kind of awareness that we need. And that was how we started. That gave us awareness. No funding yet at that time. And then we moved on to other collaboration that eventually start bringing in money. So when I tell people about some of the people that we have partnered with, they were like, why would you partner with these people? They are more like your competitors. I'm like, I mean, I really don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. It's just looking at what you don't have, what they have, how can you guys meet and put things together. So for me, the secret to funding for any business or any organization is know what you want to achieve and let that vision let it move you to seeing opportunities where none exist in the first place. So that would be like a summary of it for me.
Mm. Wow. I really got that. Know what you want to achieve. And then it doesn't always have to be about competition. You can actually find collaboration opportunities, even with seeming competitors in the market. And that's really profound. And I think a lot of people do not always see it that way. And it's a perspective that will really, really help a lot of entrepreneurs today. So, but speaking of your execution and getting things set up at Erilearn, what was the biggest this might not work moment for you, and how did you push through that?
That was uh, that is actually a very very interesting question. I think this actually happened recently, so that's why I signed like that. So yeah, when we set out to start Project 10,000 Youth and Women in Tech,
Mm.
uh, was it was just I was just on my reading table in my room, and then I just thought about it. Yeah, we've been scaling on a very small scale, right? I think we could do something across Nigeria. I think this is the moment we could actually do something across Nigeria. So I started drafting, I started planning. I spoke with my team. I'm like, yeah, guys, we are doing 10,000 youths across Nigeria. And we're like, how are we going to do that? We don't have enough funding at the moment. We don't have enough resources. So how are we going to make that work? So I started thinking, yeah, I think we should just start with partnership. We were really big on partnership. So we started working with innovation hubs, and we divided this into like four phases, and then we picked four states for each quarter. So we do four states for Q1, four states for Q2, and then another four states for Q3, and then we find a way to shuffle the remaining two. Um, so that was like what we did, especially for states that have bigger population, and like Lagos, for example, we have bigger numbers. We could like divide it into cohorts. So we did the planning, and amazingly, we already sorted out the partnership. We just discovered that some of the partners are not willing to go through because they had events, or that event already slated for that time. And of course, we on our end, we also have a situation where the funding was not forthcoming. So it was left with using what we have to achieve the goal. So it was supposed to be a physical training. We decided to go with virtual, and we're not even quite sure if we're going to get any response. So the first week we launched out the awareness. The second week, I was seeing, we didn't do any advertisement. There was no ad. It was just between communities, some of our partners in the past, and all. And then to my surprise, was seeing for Lagos, that was the first cohort we did. We've seen 700 people applied. I was like, what? No ads. We didn't do any ad at this point. It was just share with your friends. And this was the moment I'm like, yes, this is actually it for me. We've never had that kind of registration in just a week before. I'm like, what? This is huge. And to my surprise, we were supposed to have the age range was 18 to 35 years. And then I'm seeing people who are within the age of 40, 45. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I was really surprised. It amazes me. And I just felt, what if we had stopped because we faced some challenges? And then when the numbers kept going on, we were planning to just do 1,000, we had over 2,000 plus application in Lagos. And that was not just it. We launched in other states. The numbers just kept moving and growing. We started seeing people that want to work with us to launch the project in their state. But as of now, we still have some states that we have not even considered yet. The places we didn't plan to go are already reaching out to us, say, oh, yeah, I would like you guys to come and have a project 10,000 youth and women in my state. I saw what you guys did. We have a partner currently in the UK who wants to launch a project in Nigeria. Like, we like to work with you guys and all of that. So I'm like, well, what would have happened if we had just, backed out because we didn't get enough resources? So I think that was a point that I felt it doesn't matter if you have enough resources or the support you needed. If it's something you really believe in and you are sure about, just go for it. Even if it failed, you already know how not to do it at the end of the day. So you can plan better.
Wow.
So
Thank you so much for sharing that story, with us. And I think these are real and true stories that we want to tell. This is the back end that nobody sees.
yeah.
Everybody sees the results. Everybody sees, the success, but nobody really sees the times when the visionary is ready to give up and just feels like this is just too much, and I'm actually excited that people get to hear these parts of the journeys of other Africans. I think it will be a huge motivation for others, to keep going. So I'm going to skip a couple of questions because I want to make this very short and precise. My next question would be, what's the single best decision you've made for your business and career, actually, and career as well?
I think the single best decision that I have made and I'm still enjoying to now is investing in people and investing in relationship. Um, I told someone yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was 2 days ago. I was having a conversation with a friend. I said, leaving university, I never really had to apply for a job directly. So I've always enjoyed that. So someone said, oh, Taiwo, I saw a job somewhere, and I think it's going to suit you because of your experience. So building relationship, investing in relationship has really helped me. The funding we got for the business was through relationship building. Even my team, everybody that has worked with me, the first staff I had is currently in the UK now. She's married. She's currently working in the UK. And the message she sent to me before she traveled, she was like, thank you so much, Taiwo. I wasn't sure I would have been able to have this level of confidence in myself if I never worked with you. So the experience I give to my staff, of course, there are some situations where you will be, people will take advantage of that. But that is not even my problem. Because I know that I just keep doing me. Somebody's perspective of me or somebody's experience should not determine my own experience. So I don't even bother. So I just keep building relationship. I keep investing in people. If anyone has the opportunity of working with me, my goal is to make you a better person than you are before you came in. That for me is something that I think has really helped. One single decision that I've made. I have people that I've worked with in the last 5 years that we're still in contact. I reach out to them. I still give them updates on my progress. I remember the employer I work with like 2 years ago, I remember. When I got selected for Mandela Hosting Fellowship, I reached out and said, hi, I just got selected for Mandela Hosting Fellowship. And to tell you how much he was even more invested in my growth. Like, wow, this is really beautiful. You're doing a great work, Taiwo, keep it up. I have some friends in the US I would like you to meet and all of that. So I just keep in touch. People that I work with, partners that I work with. I just want to keep getting better with my relationship with them. Not because I want something. I just believe that, what makes you valuable is the relationship that you've built, right? How valuable are those relationships that you've built, and how much have you invested in those relationships? Because at the end of the day, you don't know how much that can actually help you in your career. You don't know what someone will say about you that will get you to that place that you want to be. I know many doors that has opened for me without knocking. Someone just knows someone there, and they're like, I know Taiwo. Taiwo is really, she's in good hands. She's going to do the job properly and well. So yes, building a relationship. Don't leave a place in a bad state. Ensure that you leave a place with a very good impression. I know some relationships that are not like good. Yeah, it was not a good experience, but I tried my best to ensure that I didn't leave a bad impression. Even if it means apologizing to you at the verge of leaving the relationship, I'll apologize. I'm so sorry that you had to feel that way, and then I'll leave the relationship. But something you're gonna leave, I'm gonna leave you with is the fact that I try to make peace at the end of the day. So I never wanted to leave any organization, any relationship in a bad state. I want to leave with a good impression. So I think that has been one of the best decisions that I've made, and I keep making that decision every day in my relationships.
Wow. Relationships. I think you could probably do a whole masterclass on that. Okay. If you could teach one success principle to every young African, what would it be?
Hmm. This is a very big question. Success principle. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it might look like I'm taking from my previous question, but I think one success principle that I think every entrepreneur should actually adopt, right, is investing in people. I mean, we can't do enough of that. If everybody everywhere in the world has a mindset of investing in people, the world will actually be a better place. So this means that we will all have good experience with everybody that we meet. It means, someone saw a potential. Yes, saw a potential. Oh yeah, Taiwo is actually a talent. I believe in what she can do, so I want to invest in her. Not just this is not even about business, just me as a person. Taiwo is someone with a huge potential. I want to invest in her. I believe in what she's doing, and that today became my story because someone saw that yes, she can do it. So I think what really defines success is when we see other people grow, when we support others, when we help others, because a progress not shared is just a privilege. A progress shared is a transformation. So when you share opportunity with other people, right, it becomes a transformation because at that point you're not just thinking about you, you're also thinking about others. you're helping others rise. And before you know it, it might start with a family, it grows out to becoming a community, becoming a state, becoming a region. And before you know it, we have a country and we have a continent, a transformed continent. And I think that's what success should really be about.
Hmm. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think piggybacking on that, what do you think is the biggest mind shift young Africans need to make?
Now, can you take the question again?
What do you think is the biggest mindset shift
Okay.
that young Africans need to make?
Think the biggest mindset shifts. It's very funny because I had the academic director in UT, Austin, say that a lot of time, and I think it just stayed with me since the day I heard it. I've heard it before, but it didn't really ring a bell
Hmm.
the way it did here. Maybe because I'm among several Africans from other countries like Burundi, Cote d'Ivoire, Malawi, Zimbabwe. We have people from Eswatini and the likes. And for the first time, I saw myself as not just Taiwo Joseph from Lagos, who's from Osun State or from Delta State. I see myself in that way. I saw myself as a Nigerian for the first time because nobody even knows about your state to begin with. What they know
Mhm.
is you're a Nigerian. And outside of that, when I step out of my apartment, I'm going out, the first thing people ask is, where are you from? And I'm like, yeah, from Nigeria, I'm from Africa. Because I had to put Africa so they know that Nigeria is in Africa. And it was just dawned on me that I represent a continent. And
Hmm.
my professor would say, you are the last hope of Africa. Now,
Wow.
it's not in the sense of, yeah, you are the only savior that Africa has. No, it's not in that light. It's in the light of, you are here with these so many opportunities. And if you go back home and you did not spread this light, you did not share the light, you are eventually quenching the light. So, what this
Hmm.
means is what could have been an opportunity for several thousands and millions of Africa, you just audit. That's what it means. It means you have the key to unlocking several doors for several other young people in Nigeria, but you didn't do it. So,
Hmm.
for the first time, I saw myself beyond just a young girl living in Lagos and just doing a thing, minding her business. Now I can't mind my business anymore. I am representing Africa here, right? That is how the people here sees me, and it's so much weight. So I think every young Africans need to see themselves in that light. Like everywhere you go to, here, um, nobody knows about your struggle in Nigeria. Nobody wants to even know about. What they see is an African, someone who is doing an amazing work, someone who is recognized by US Department of State to be sponsored, to be empowered, to empower other people. So I think we just have to, shift our mindset from just seeing just a single person and seeing ourselves as a country, a state, a continent, because that's the way the people of the world sees us. And everywhere we go, we must carry ourselves well, we must represent, right? And when we come back home, we must come back home with that mindset that, yeah, I'm here to make a change, to make a difference, because that is who I am. All right, because the reason we have so much violence, so much criminal records, evil occurrences and all is because we think about ourselves, selfishness. If you think about other people, you won't do some of the things you do sometimes because yeah, somebody will get out if I do this. You won't see an opportunity and keep it with yourself. You want to share. So I think that mindset is very important for every African. You're not just a Nigerian, you're not just a Ghanaian, a South African. You are a continent, and you are the last hope of Africa. I think that mindset will really make a huge difference.
Wow. This is really like so insightful. Like so much insight. And I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to actually sit down. So I would like to borrow 5 extra minutes because I really, really want to ask this final couple of questions. Okay, I think about 3 or so to go. If your work disappeared today, what would Africa lose?
Yeah, I'm not praying for that to happen. Yeah,
Well, that question, what that question does is that it helps to tell everyone the relevance and the importance of their contributions to the continent. So
yeah.
in your case now, we want to know how relevant is what you're doing, how much weight does this contribution carry, in helping us transform the continent.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Can you take the question again? I lost you a bit.
Oh yeah, I said if your work disappeared today, what would Africa lose?
Okay. If everything happens to disappear today, Africa will be losing an accessible pathway to job opportunities. So why I said that is what we are doing in Erilearn is creating a pathway where it's very easy for young people to get access to career advancements, job opportunities, internship opportunities. In Africa as of today, we have very minimal universities that are teaching skills like cybersecurity, of digital marketing, product management, product design, and in other part of the continent here, that is like everyday course you see in most universities. You see product management, you see cybersecurity. While we are not there yet, there needs to be a bridge. There needs to be a pathway where these young people can go and get the skills. Because either we make a decision to employ these skills into our curriculum or not, it did not change the fact that if you go to several companies today, they want to have a cybersecurity specialist, they want to have a digital marketer, a product manager. It didn't change that fact. So what happens then when we have not yet gotten to that point? So it means there need to be bridges, solutions that are making that available. So what we are doing is we are giving them market ready skills to help them get access to the labor market very seamlessly, and aside from the labor market, globally, to have global recognition as a career professional. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what's your boldest vision for Africa in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, my boldest vision is, irrespective of your status, of your background, every young Africans have access to world-class quality education.
Wow.
Because it's not something you see everywhere, something you see everywhere. I was just thinking about this yesterday. Not like, what would I have become if I had access to a quality education? I grew up to be someone very creative and talented. I remember sharing with a friend that, there was a time when my mom gave me nightwear, and I made the nightwear. I was just 5 years old. I made the nightwear into my own gown with needle and thread. Um, I'm someone that we arrange. I arrange things in a very structured and systematic way. A 5 year old girl, my mom will need me to arrange the room because I just have the, very unique talent for structuring things, arranging things. I was musically talented. I was singing with my mom on stage at age 5. So I was really talented. I was someone that was very creative growing up. I have a thing for colors. It's just something that comes natural to me. So I'm like, what would have been the outcome if I was in a system that appreciates and recognize talent? Where I was like, yeah, this young girl, she's really good. Maybe she should take like a year in a creative school. Just put her in camping school for creatives, and oh yeah, she's really good. Okay, yeah, I think she will really make a good designer. Just let her go to a design school, and where you people easily recognize your talent. I don't know where I would have been by now. A lot of things would have changed, right? But then this is the story of every young African you see out there. We have talent, we are gifted, naturally gifted, but we do not have a system that recognizes talent
Mm,
very, very young age. So that is actually what education is about. It's not just going to school to study law and medicine, which is good, but beyond that, like seeing the skills, seeing the talent, and seeing how um, it could be applicable in a career that is really suited. What we are doing is more like damage control, really, because they've already, they've already formed an interest. They are already out of the university, but then they're like,
mm.
okay, so did animal production and health. Yeah, that was my course, anyways. And then I'm not sure I see myself doing that. So what can I do? So and that's what we're doing. Yeah, you don't have to spend the rest of your life doing something you do not enjoy. So we're willing to take them to that process, identifying their strengths, identifying their weaknesses, identifying where their skills and their interests, where it's applicable. See yourself as a 5-year-old young girl, a young boy. Look at your talent. What are the things you like doing? So how can we create a skill in that area for you? And you see
Mm.
these people come back in the next 2 years and say, oh my God, I'm so happy I took product management from Erilearn. That's defined everything about me. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. That experience just gives me a lot of joy. I'm really happy to be part of their journey. So that's basically what we're doing. Yeah.
Wow, wow. This is really, really amazing. And I'm really, really grateful, that you've taken the time to share your story, share your journey. I feel like for every lesson that you've shared today, you've actually had like a real experience, a real story to share. And I think that's one of the best ways that we all can learn. We can see that this is not just ed knowledge, this is not theory, this is actually something that you've experienced. So finally, final couple of questions. How can people be part of your mission or support what you do?
Yeah, I'm able on LinkedIn. Taiwo Joseph on LinkedIn. On Instagram, you could follow Erilearn business page on Instagram. Send us a message. I'm also available on Instagram as well. My name is Taiwo Sparkles on Instagram. You can send a message. I'm always online, by the way. So you can send a message, reach out.
Can you say that again, please? I
Yeah,
would like to put it on the screen.
okay. So Taiwo Sparkles on Instagram.
Okay.
Erilearn on Instagram. You can follow Erilearn on Instagram. And on LinkedIn, Erilearn is also on LinkedIn. I go by Taiwo Joseph on LinkedIn as well. And we also have a crowdfunding, you know, support for
Okay.
anyone that wants to support any young women or young people with training skills in tech. Yeah, you could send a message to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram as well. Taiwo Joseph just search for Taiwo Joseph on Instagram. You could put Erilearn, Taiwo Joseph Erilearn. It will bring up my name very fast. So you could support with any amount of money you think you have to support with. We give you you know reports of what we are doing with the money on a yearly basis. The project is still ongoing, and we are on the lookout for as many support as possible. Yeah, so that's how I can be reached.
Awesome. Thank you so, 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 so much. Really, really appreciate this. Um, I think that'll be all. I would have asked a couple more questions, but because of time, we'll have to shut it down here. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for sharing your story, for sharing your journey. I'm really we wish you the best. Your journey in the US, going through the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. I can already see how much you're gaining because you've actually shared a few tips.
Yeah,
from what you've learned so far. And I think that's a wonderful opportunity. And thank you for creating opportunities for other Africans as well. Even though you are the background where you didn't have any, and that was the motivation. So it's been an incredible conversation. And to everybody listening, we've gained so many golden nuggets of wisdom from Taiwo today, from how she told us that you have to start with what you have, start where you are, right? Don't try to have all your eggs, all your ducks in a row, before you start. Just take a step. If you are struggling with raising funding, focus a lot on building relationships, focus a lot on collaborations, not just seeing everybody who is in the same business as you are as a competitor, right? And invest in people. I think that was one point and one lesson that she kept resounding again and again. So which part of today's conversation resonated with you the most? Please drop it in the comments and let's keep this discussion going. And if you would like to follow Taiwo's journey, please connect with her across all our social media platforms, as she has mentioned, on IG, Taiwo Sparkles, on LinkedIn as well, she's Taiwo Joseph. Check out her work at Erilearn. You can contribute to funding other people's education, giving access to other people, or giving opportunity to other people, via Erilearn's initiatives. And if you love this episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an inspiring story. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And I think there are a lot of someones who need to actually hear this conversation, right? On our next episode, we'll have another powerhouse guest who is making an exciting impact on the African continent. And trust me, you do not want to miss that. So until next time, keep making impact and transforming the African continent for good. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, everyone.